Hey, Rainmakers. We have a great show today. We have Michael Tucker, who started a six-figure side hustle running virtual events. He is a challenge genius. So if you want to know how to run the behind the scenes operations of these 5-day challenges you keep seeing, or if you want to know how to get started running a six-figure challenge, make sure you stay tuned because you're sure to learn a lot. Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm so excited.
I am too. I really want to dive into what is your six-figure side hustle and how did you get started?
Well, thanks for asking me to be on here. I'm super excited to share that I'm an online event coach, a virtual event coach. So we've helped, man, I would say 30, 40 plus clients generate six figures or more through virtual events. I think totaling like over $15 million over the past 2 years that we've helped generate through virtual events, specifically online challenges. You've probably seen on the internet people running these 5-day challenges where you sit through hour sessions for 5 days straight. That's our specialty. And we've been able to help a lot of coaches, a lot of influencers get to a point to where they make an extra 6 or 7 figures per month through online challenges. But it always wasn't like that. As most of you guys know, it started out as a side hustle. So if you want, I can go into that. But that's what we do is virtual events. And we have a great team that helps us make these successful.
Definitely. I definitely want to know what led you into this. So you said you've been doing it about 2 years. Is this a business that was kind of born from COVID?
So actually, you would think so, but no. So we actually, I've always been into marketing, building websites. I actually went to school for business marketing, and so I always knew that I loved business, and so I was trying to start my own businesses at the time, but I was on the side doing freelance website and funnel building. If you guys don't know what funnels are, you're going to learn about it sooner or later because you'll probably need one for your business. But I started building out funnels and websites for entrepreneurs on the side, just making a couple grand a month. And one day I was working with one of my real estate coaches because I also invest on the side. He said, "Hey, can you make me a funnel?" I said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." He said, "Hey, can you make me a virtual event funnel? Can you help me run this virtual event?" I said, "Sure." He was like, "Let's do a webinar." And most of you guys know what webinars are. And so he said, "Let's do a webinar and we'll see how it goes." I'm going to be honest, it flopped. Okay. It just did horrible. I don't think we got any sales from it. And we were like, man, that's really discouraging. I was building his funnels, his virtual events, and I did a decent job at the time. And I was like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. And so I was still investing, doing it part time with him, just helping him out as my main source of side hustle income. And he said, "Hey, I heard about this thing called online challenges." He was like, "Let's try one." And so we went to the drawing board, built out a funnel and a website around online challenges, ran his first one. He made like 20 or $30,000 in 5 days. We're like, cool, this works. And remember, this is just a side hustle for me. So like, and I think I wasn't even getting paid at the time. He was giving me free coaching for for doing this with him. So I was getting free coaching. I was happy. He made 20 to $30,000. He was happy. And so he said, let's run it again. So a couple months later, we partnered with someone else, ran another online challenge, another virtual event, and made like 200,000, two or $300,000 in 5 days. It was like, that was awesome. Let's do it again. So he partnered with somebody else and ran it a third time and made like $400,000 in 5 days. And so I think total, I can't remember all the numbers, but it was somewhere around $700,000 I made without getting paid. I made him that much money without getting paid, just in turn for free coaching. And it was there at that moment after we did those three events that my side hustle officially kicked into a full-time business. Because what happened was all these people in his sphere of influence, all these coaches, all these entrepreneurs heard about the value I was creating for David, my mentor. And so I started getting referred out here and there, and it just blew up. Now we're doing 30 plus virtual events per year. But this is a learning, something that you guys can learn from. If you have a side business, try to add as much value to someone as possible. Try to create so much value that they look at you and say, I cannot lose you. And that's what happened during this process. Was David, my real estate mentor, said, I cannot lose you. All these other guys started looking at me, and these girls that were coaches and influencers, and said, we need that guy. So whenever you're building out your side hustle, especially digitally, you need to remember to create enough value to go so hard that when people look at you, they say, I want them on my team. I need them. So that's how it started out, running virtual events on the side, not even making money, building out funnels, not even making money, to getting referred to some of the top entrepreneurs and coaches that you guys probably know of. I'm not going to say who they are, but a lot of the coaches and influencers you see on IG, I work with. So,
Okay, so basically, if we see a really well put together challenge, we kind of know that you're behind the scenes somewhere putting it together.
yep, that's me.
So I think a really good point that you did say is that initially you worked for free, and that was one of the lessons that a lot of people didn't really resonate with in Rich Dad Poor Dad, when they say the rich don't work for money. Um, so you were really working for for experience, and that led you to a six-figure business that you weren't even looking for. So that's really that's an interesting story. So tell me what it looks like on the back end to run a challenge. Like, what I've attended multiple challenges, so what goes into putting these events together from your point? So if someone's interested, they know, okay, these are the things that I would have to offer. These are the services I would have to learn.
Yeah, this is a great time to be into digital marketing. As you know, everybody's turning to hosting virtual events. Like, in-person events are still great and are still a thing that of the times, but a lot of people are going virtually, and they're trying to get their name and their voice out as much as possible. And so when a coach or a client comes to us and says, hey, I want to run a virtual event, specifically an online challenge, what we do on the back end of our business is we run the whole shebang. We build out their funnels, we build out their email copy, their SMS copy, we build out their graphics. We moderate the challenge community, because we put them all into a Facebook group, all the attendees, and we manage that. We host it. I'm on the Zooms, my team's on the Zoom, making sure that the live streams go well. So we do everything A to Z. But if you are looking to get into digital marketing, or maybe start an agency, kind of like what we have, you don't have to jump full force into doing virtual challenges or virtual events. Now you can get some of the software and do some of the things like that, but start out maybe building out some funnels for people. Maybe start out adding small value in places where those coaches need it, and then that can grow from there. Because I mean, I'm going to be honest, we grew our virtual event agency right now to where it was just from me to now we have, I think, 8 employees. So I mean, it's like we're not like the super biggest team in the world, but we went from me just starting out doing everything myself,
Right.
doing the funnels first, doing the design second. And so we kind of grew into where now we're a full-fledged agency, but it doesn't always have to be like that. So, but that's what we do, and that's our services. So,
That's amazing. So yeah, I think that is the classic side hustle story where you kind of happen upon something, you weren't really looking at it, you make your first dollar and you're like, huh, maybe I'm onto something. And then it just grows from there. And now you really have built a name for yourself, or really you're in the background, but the people in the coaching industry, I'm sure everyone knows because they all talk. If you
yeah,
put on a
100%.
really good event, they want to know, well, how did you do this? How did you accomplish all this? So you're the man behind the scenes making it happen. So what what software and what, I guess, where would someone start? You said with a digital agency. So maybe what are some courses that they could take, or what's the software program that you use?
Yeah, so it all depends on what your goals are. Obviously, I'm going to be honest. I never took any courses about this stuff. Like this is just something that I kind of learned along the way. And there's going to be things when you're starting a side hustle. If you're watching this right now, there are some things you're just going to have to learn on your own. There's going to be things, video courses, ebooks, masterminds will not be able to teach you. You're going to have to learn through life lessons and going actually putting your hands on. So if you're here today watching and you have a side hustle you're wanting to start, jump all in, go full force, like go 100%, because that's how you're going to learn, is by making mistakes. When we first started building out our challenges and even just building out funnels, they looked wonky. They looked horrible. I'm going to be honest with you. They weren't the best, but they did the job, right? And so remember, done is better than perfect in most circumstances, right? And so for me, software wise, I mean, there isn't really much. I mean, we use ClickFunnels to build out the funnels and build out the challenge websites there. You can use Canva to build out your graphics for whatever you're doing. I mean, we use Zoom to stream this. So it's like not a hard thing to do. It's just you need to figure out in the digital marketing space. And if you're wanting to build an agency, what is your niche? Because my niche, it's online virtual events. We don't focus on putting on in-person events. Now we could because we have the knowledge, but we don't. And so for you and your side hustle, you need to figure out, who am I going to serve and what is my niche? And you probably hear that all the time, but it's so true. If you're trying to build a virtual event agency like myself, I'm not going to be over here building in-person events because that's not my forte. I'm not going to be in here building out regular websites for a veterinarian or a dentist because that's not my niche. And so what happens is when you enter into a place like we are, and we're so niche down specifically where we do online challenges, you're going to be the go-to person in that space. You're going to be the go-to man or woman in your industry. They're going to say, oh, so and so, you're known for alkaline diets, right? So one of the persons that we're helping with challenges, that's like their niche. Like
Oh,
that's what
really?
they're known for. And there's some people that, for example, that we're known for, they teach real estate wholesaling, like so niche. They don't teach real estate in general. They teach real estate wholesaling. So you need to ask myself, what do I want to be known for? In my business, what am I good at? Because if you can find that out, it's going to be a whole lot easier to serve people. And I'm going to be honest, once you get super, super good, it's going to be easier to charge premium prices. And don't we all want premium prices, right?
We want those premium buyers, absolutely. So the story you initially told, that's very interesting to me too. I had to really let it resonate, but you said that in a course of 5 days, someone made $30,000, and then during their second challenge, they made $300,000 in 5 days. So I know a lot of people, some people will want to become a virtual event space specialist like yourself who have, the digital marketing background. But some people might be thinking, huh, I want to run a challenge. I want to learn how to make $400,000 in a week. This is about six-figure side hustles, over a year. But I think some people's minds are exploding about making six figures in a week. So, what advice would you have for anyone who might have a niche or might have a specialty for getting started in their challenge?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And challenges are the hot thing right now. And the reason why I love them is because you get to build trust over a 5 day period versus webinars, master classes. A lot of times you only get to build trust over a day, or like not even a day, like an hour or two. So, like, the reason why these challenges, we call them, are called challenges because you guide people through a process to make them take action. We could call them 5 day webinars. We could call them 5 day master classes. We could call them a conference, but they're specifically structured in a way that the people would take action and move forward in whatever business that you're trying to get them to jump into. And so if you right now, you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur and you have this knowledge, you have a niche, and maybe you have an offer of some sort to help somebody. Maybe you teach people how to build their credit. Maybe you teach people how to start a side hustle, or maybe you teach people how to get into real estate investing. Whatever you teach people or whatever you help people with, you can do a challenge around. So if you're right now in this space where you're like, man, Michael, I want to make an extra $20,000, $30,000 through a challenge. I want to make an extra six figures, 100 to 500,000, right? Or I want to run a challenge and make a million. We've helped several people make $1 million in 5 days. Actually, I think we had one do 2 million plus in a 5 day period. If that's you, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot more simple than you would think. A lot of people think you have to have all these elaborate systems. I mean, you could do it yourself. If you want like the master challenge ran, then come see us. But if you really, really want to just go and run with it, all you need is a phone and a Facebook group. That's all we tell people. You probably need a way to collect these leads, but maybe a simple funnel, a phone, and just a Facebook group. And what I would challenge you to do is go ahead and set a date for a challenge, 5 days in a few months from now. 5 days for a few months, maybe a month or two from now. Just start collecting people's information and then sending them to a Facebook group. And over 5 days, once that 5 day comes, just teach for 5 days. Give so much value over that 5 days to your micro niche, to your niche of people, the people that need that credit repair services, the people that need, I don't know, let's say help with real estate investing. Just serve them for 5 days. And at the end of that 5 days, they're going to be ready to purchase from you. And then if you have an offer, maybe it's a mastermind or a video course, offer that at the end. It's not rocket science. Now, we do have certain strategies that we found have worked better, but if you want to get started in the challenge, it's simple. It's super, super simple. You're just serving people over a 5 day period, and at the end, extending your hand out for them to work with you. And by the end of the 5 days, if you give them value, they're going to be ready. So I hope that helps. I know that's very vague because we could go really deep into challenges, but for right now, that's all you would need to do.
Okay. All right. Great. So, do you have maybe like a brief little 5 day framework that someone could kind of take their business and maybe plug it into? Because I've been to, like I said, many challenges, and they all, and I don't know if you were running all of them, but they all seem to follow a pretty similar framework. So, just for someone who is trying to plug their information in and maybe do it themselves, can you maybe give us a little bit of a framework of what that would look like without
Yes,
giving away
you're talking
your
about the
secret,
5 days
your
of
top
teaching,
secret?
and you're talking about the 5 days of teaching, what that would look like.
Yeah, like what a framework would be, is you're writing it out, is you're taking, if you have your own side hustle, if you have your own niche, how could you take out a piece of paper and maybe sketch that out so you don't turn on the camera and you're just rambling? Because I have been on those
Love
challenges
it.
when I'm like, where are we
Yeah.
going? Where do we come from? What is
And
the
so
point?
and so this is the thing with challenges. What I like to tell people is teach the what and the why and teach the how later in your program. Now, you do want to give some of the how. I'm not saying reserve information. You want to give as much value as possible, but you want over the 5 days to really tell them and get them to a place where they know what they need to do and why they need to do it. And the how can be more about later once they jump into your video course, your mastermind offer, right? And so usually how we frame this out is this is designed to take them from day one where they have a lot of self-limiting beliefs. Maybe they say, Sabrina, I don't have a side hustle. I don't have time for a side hustle. I don't have money to start on a side hustle. That's self-limiting beliefs. Those are misconceptions. For example, in real estate, because I'm in that space as well, I know that the misconceptions that people walk in with during our challenges are, I don't have money to invest in real estate. I don't have the time to invest in real estate. I'm too young. I'm too old. Day one, we know they're bringing those misconceptions in. So you need to help tear those down and get them to believe in themselves. You need to get them to believe in your process, whether it's credit repair or real estate investing, or starting a side hustle. Whatever that is, you need to get them to believe that all those misconceptions and those self limiting beliefs that they came in with their mind, they need to throw those out the door. And so, day one, you know what we focus on? That exact thing. We focus on mindset on day one. So a lot of our challenges, when we bring people in, that's what we do. We say, hey, we want you to hit on mindset because That's the foundation of it all. If you want to run a successful business, if you want to succeed in this challenge, you have to have the right mindset. And so that's day one. We focus on mindset and getting over those self limiting beliefs. We want people to believe that they need to get out of their comfort zone because growth only happens outside of their comfort zone. We want them to know that everything in life is on the other side of their fear, right? And so that's what we do day one. Now, day two, we jump into the teaching, the actual what and the why behind your process. Maybe you do credit repair and you would just jump in and start teaching about the basics of what they need to start doing first to get their credit right. Right? It's the foundation, getting that. Day three, we do the same thing. We go further into the process. And every day we're knocking down these self limiting beliefs. Every day we're addressing them and knocking them down. But day three, we do more teaching, but we also invite them to apply to work with us at the end of that. So, I'm going to let you know after day one, they're already going to be excited because they just spent an hour with you. Usually people at the end of a webinar, if you did a 1 hour webinar, they're going to be excited at the end. Well, imagine when you do another day two and you give straight value. You day three and you give straight value. They're like I've never received this much information about X, Y, and Z in my life. And so at the end of day three, we usually invite them to apply to work with us. What that means is we usually ask them, hey, if you are interested, just let us know. Fill out this quick application. That lets us know who you are and that you're interested. It's free to apply. Day four, we do the same thing, teaching, knocking down self limiting beliefs. And then we usually make the offer that day. Okay. So we usually make the offer. Pretty simple. I don't want to get into the weeds of how to do that or the sales psychology or anything like that. But day four, we usually give the offer because we still have day five, right? We still have another day of teaching. So we give the offer day four. Day five rolls around. We teach a little bit and do the offer again. We repitch them because we know there's still people on the fence. There's people that are still needing to get money in order. But after those 5 days, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and give you guys the exact framework because if I gave every single little detail, you're going to be like, man, I need to have all this in place. When we want you just to take action on your
Right.
first challenge. And that's pretty much it. So day one, mindset. Day two, day three, and day four, day five are teaching, but just doing that call to actions at the end of day three, four, and five. So I know that was a lot. Go back and rewatch this or re-listen to this because there's going to be a lot of gems that are dropped over the next 30 minutes or however long we're in here, and you guys will want to rewind it. So sorry if I overloaded you there.
No, that's great. That's what we want. We want the meat and potatoes to know, well, I'm sure you sell premium services. You like to work with people who are a little bit more of an influencer with an established audience. So for people who might just be starting out, this is something great that they can start with really little out of pocket money, right? You said Zoom, a phone, a Facebook group, which is free,
Yep.
and maybe a funnel, which I've had funnels built on
Yeah, I
Fiverr.
mean, if you like have
That's
$0, okay, let's say that you have an offer and you have $0 right now. You could run signups to a Google form. Like, do we do that? No, but like if you literally had $0 and you're like, I can't afford ClickFunnels, I can't or I can't afford a website, like Google Forms or something of that sort to collect their info. And then what you can do is in that Google form, after they fill out their info, direct them, like there's a little setting inside a Google form where it directs them to whatever link you want after they hit submit. So hit submit and you can have them just direct to your Facebook group and they'll join the Facebook group. And then from there you can welcome people and start, getting them excited for your challenge. So I'm being serious. It's not as hard. Now, if you're over here and you already have an established following, if you have 50, 100, 200,000 followers and you got a good offer, you already have people inside of your coaching programs, don't use a Google form. Like, let's spend some money and let's get some good marketing going for you. So, yeah, I hope that this helps, guys.
It does, because I know a lot of people will think, well, once I get to this level, I'll take action, or once this happens, I'll take action. And when I say people, I'm talking about myself. When X happens, I'll do Y. But you're basically saying, like, there's really no excuse. There's no budgetary constraints. There's really no audience constraints. I guess, you know what? Let me ask you this, because this is my fear, and I'm sure this has crossed someone else's mind. So you start promoting your challenge, and it comes time, and there's like 3 or 4 people in the room. What do you do? Do you, yeah, what would you do?
Okay, there's several things I would say to that. One is still show up and teach, because there's people out there that need you, and if those people paid or if they registered, they need your services. They're there in the room to get value, and they're probably signed up because they are hurting in some area. So I would say still deliver like you would if it was 10,000 people. The second thing I would say is if you don't have a big following, like what we do right now for a lot of our influencers and a lot of our coaches is we run paid challenges. Like, so the challenge is we charge like $100 or $300 to get in the door and get their spot saved. Like, I'm gonna be honest, if you only have 500, 1,000 followers, it's probably not going to be the best fit for you to try charging a few $100 to get in. Can you? Yes, because the reason why we do that is to get qualified people in the room. That's the reason why we charge what we do, is we want qualified clients getting into the challenge, because we know if they're willing to invest $100 or $300, they're going to invest 3 to 5, 10,000, $20,000 on an offer. But if you're in this space where you're like, man, I don't have a big following, I'm just starting out, there's two things I would recommend for you. One is start out with a free challenge so you can get more leads. I want to be honest with you, in my coaching business for real estate, which we put on pause because this challenge business has blown up. But when we were doing real estate coaching, I built my email list to like almost 1,000 people within like a week or two, doing online just like 2 challenges, because I ran free challenges. So if you don't have a big audience, maybe you do free challenges instead of paid challenges. That would be one thing. That's going to increase your show up rate. So you don't have just 3 or 4 people in the door, or in the room. Second thing I would recommend is find strategic partnerships. My partner that we said made 20 or $30,000, then 200, and then 400. The second and third challenge, he partnered with other people who had an audience. You guys are going to get blown away. The first challenge we did, he had zero email list, and all he had was his Facebook group. So he made 20 or 30, I'm sorry, not Facebook group, his Facebook profile. So all he did was invite his Facebook friends to the challenge, and he made 20 to $30,000. Like, no brainer, right? But the second and third challenge, he partnered with other people who already had influence. So ask yourself, who do I know in my space that has influence? Who in my space has a following already that I can connect with and run a challenge with? For my real estate mentor, he partnered with somebody that taught financial, I guess, planning, that taught wealth management, and he taught real estate. So they go hand in hand.
Right.
They came together. One brought the email list, he brought the teaching, and they split profits. I don't know the percentage split they did, but David, my mentor over here, had zero audience, partnered
Right.
with somebody who did, and they went and made several $100,000 together. And he's done that multiple times. You can do that too. So if you're worried about people not showing up, run free challenges and find strategic partnerships, because that's how you're going to grow your email list. That's how you're going to grow your coaching program. It's through getting creative when you're at the beginning.
That's excellent advice, really, for everything. If you don't have the who, partner with someone. If you don't have the how, partner with someone. Whatever you're lacking, there's someone who has it. So it's better to have these strategic partnerships and split profits than sit here waiting for you to have the who or the how or the why or the what.
And that's
You
for
know,
anything in business.
yeah.
Like, strategic partnerships in business can be what explodes your growth. I'm going to be honest. For example, we had a business here, and we have it, but we're about to sell it soon, where we literally seen a need in our local market. It's a brick and mortar store, and we partnered with a company. outside of our city and town to make it easier and make our barrier to entry easier. And literally, we've been able to step into a new business here in our local market where we're at and start making revenue so easily through strategic partnerships. So, whatever industry you're in, find ways to get in with other people and collaborate. Remember, collaboration over competition. There's people in your industry that are going to be doing more than you, and that's okay. Ask them, hey, how can we work together? For example, if you're in real estate, I just use real estate a lot. I apologize because I'm in that space.
It's okay.
But if you know there's people in your area, say, hey, listen, what happens if, what would happen if we both found a deal together? Like we both were on the same deal trying to negotiate. Can we just work together and making it happen? Or, hey, I know that you have an audience. I have the offer. Can we come together and do something massive? Maybe we do an affiliate split. Can we do that? And that's how we make a lot of our money through these online challenges is through partnerships. We have people that bring us leads and we don't have to pay for any ads. We don't have to pay for any, we don't do any marketing for our services. It's just through strategic partnership. So anything you do, figure out ways to collaborate with people. It's powerful.
Yeah, I think that that's a great note to lead into our Rainmaker round. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and if you could just give me the answer off the top of your head, that'll be great. So what
All right,
book
we'll
are
try
you
this.
reading today?
I'm reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I'm a big mindset guy. I'm a big like go out there, do hard things that are out of your comfort zone. So Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is a great book if you need a kick in the butt to go take some action in life.
We all need a kick in the butt sometimes. That sounds great. I'm going to put that on my Amazon list and the reading list. So what book would you recommend for someone wanting to start out um, in this side hustle?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be honest. I kind of learned this from scratch myself. But if I would recommend one book, and a lot of the people that come on here are going to say the same thing because it's such a great book. But Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book to start out your entrepreneurial journey with because it teaches you the foundations of what you need for a successful business and to get that different mindset to grow wealth. So I'm going to be honest. Russell Brunson, he's the founder of ClickFunnels, has some great books on actual like digital marketing, building out funnels. So if you want anything in the digital marketing realm, he has, I think, 3 books. Traffic Secrets is one of them. So he has several. Just look up Russell Brunson on ClickFunnels, and he has tons of books on marketing. But as in like entrepreneurial based, side hustle based, I love Rich Dad Poor Dad. Ultimately, like I feel like everybody that's an entrepreneur reads that, but it's a good start.
That is, yeah, that was like the starting point basically for everyone who grew up maybe not having, and then it clicked for them. What is a quote you live by?
I'm going to be honest, it's a simple phrase, and I've said this multiple times, especially as we were talking about the David Goggins, but there's a simple little statement that I've been trying to live by. It's do hard things. Because a lot of times we run towards mediocrity and we run towards things that make us comfortable. But if we would only focus on doing the hard things when you wake up and put your feet on the floor, if you focus on doing the hard things that nobody else wants to do, you're going to find yourself further faster, right? Because like I said, most people they're I'm not gonna wake up that early because you know what I got to work 8 hours. I don't want to be more tired throughout the day. Oh, I'm not gonna eat that healthy food. I only live one life. Like it's easy to sleep in. It's easy to eat what everybody else is eating. It's easy to just go with the flow. But it's not really a quote. I'm sorry, but it's just a mantra I've been living by is like do hard things. And that's just something that every day I actually have like it everywhere. So
No, I love that. I do love that. I'm gonna say that to myself because sometimes that the snooze button does seem enticing, and the double bacon cheeseburger does seem satisfying. But I like that. Do hard things.
I mean, people
Um,
are they're gonna think you're crazy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt here. I know you're trying to go through this really fast, but like, people are gonna think you're crazy. They're gonna be like, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing it this way? But I promise you, like, although people are going to think you're crazy for doing the harder things, the things that no one wants to do, you're going to feel better and you're going to see more rewards from it. So that's why I live by that. So
I agree. And I almost think if people don't think you're crazy, then you are on that mediocrity path. So you need those, questionable looks to know I'm onto something, because most people think that I'm out of my mind. And that's, what ultimate success looks like, is the road less traveled. So I do like that, and it was a powerful message. So what was the biggest obstacle you faced when you started the side hustle?
biggest obstacle, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not really when I first started, but it was once I started seeing a little success. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get to a point to where eventually you're running your side business and you have a choice to make. Do I want to keep doing everything myself, or do I want to start building a team, and what do I want to do to scale this thing? And so for me, first starting is we had success fairly quickly. I mean, we built those 3 challenges within a few months and made a lot of money. And then people started hitting us up. Hey, let's do one this month. Hey, let's do one next month. And so now we do them every single week. And the biggest thing I had to get over was I need help. And as entrepreneurs, a lot of the times we think, oh, we can do it better. Or hey, I'm going to keep building the funnels or keep building the graphics because I like doing it. And nobody else can do it better than me. But if you really want to take your side hustle to a full blown business, then you probably are going to have to hire out. So for me, that was the biggest thing I had to get out to, which now we have a team that does majority of everything, but I still struggle with it. There's still things I see and I want to do. And I'm like, but I don't need to. I need to let my team do it. And it's learning to lead instead of managing, right? And be and that's like a lesson that a lot of us, especially experienced entrepreneurs, can also probably learn from is where can I get to a point where I'm leading instead of managing. So that was the biggest thing that I had to get over. I know it wasn't like the very first hurdle, but again, that's what I kind of had trouble with. But once I defeated it, it was smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, I mean, that is an obstacle, thinking that you can go at it alone. And really, if you want to go, what is it? If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, bring a team. So I
Right.
really
100%.
love that lesson that you brought about. And then finally, how can we get more of Michael Tucker and your virtual challenge secrets? If any of the listeners do have their own following, how can they get in contact? Do you have a course? Do you have a book? We need more
Yeah,
information.
so I'm gonna be honest with you. So we've just started building out some stuff because a lot of the people we work with are so high level and we've been so busy we haven't even had time to start teaching people these models. But what we just did is actually here in about 2 weeks, I believe it is, we're launching an ebook around our model. And so it's going to be probably a 50, 60 page ebook just diving into the framework behind a challenge, how to maybe create an offer, how to get to a point to where people will pay you for your knowledge. And so we're going to dive into that. And it's called Challenge Methods. So if you guys actually go to challengemethods.com, you can go there, get on the wait list for the ebook when it comes out. It's going to be so full of value. And once you get on that wait list, we're also going to probably try to send you an email or a text to get you into our Facebook community, because we're starting a little Facebook group for coaches and entrepreneurs who maybe want to run their first challenge. So challengemethods.com, go ahead and get the ebook or get on the wait list for the ebook, and we'll try to get you into the Facebook community from there as well.
Absolutely. You guys know what to do. Get on that wait list. You need to be running challenges. You need to be building your audience and building a stage. Michael, thank you so much. And if you are in our members community, you're going to get this next little tidbit. But if you're not, it's farewell for now.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Sabrina.
Okay, just hang on for a second. Okay, so I'll let them do their little editing magic. So, welcome, Rainmakers. You made the ultimate decision and you are in our members community. So, you're going to get a little extra bit of this sauce from Michael. I just want to know if someone does want to start in this business, if someone is saying, you know what, I have the skills or I will learn the skills to run these challenges. I don't want to be on the stage. I want to be behind the scenes making it happen. What are three action steps they can take to get started?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I would definitely, one, like we mentioned prior, go ahead and get on our ebook wait list, because starting there and gaining the knowledge, like I said, there's going to be some stuff that you're going to have to learn on your own. But what I would do is I would just start out by reading our ebook that's coming out. You can go to challengemethods.com, and there's going to be so much information. If you're like, hey, I want to run virtual events and I want to help people with their marketing online, just start there. That's number one, I would say, is just getting that knowledge. But you can actually, there's several other people that teach this. I'm not going to say I'm the only person that does. Pedro Adoa, I believe that's how you say his name. I don't want to butcher it, but he's like the father of challenges, right? Like he's made millions of dollars. We've made millions of dollars. So we're all good. We're happy. We actually work with some of his team on some stuff every now and then. But he has YouTube videos on some of that stuff. But like I said, I would just start out learning the basics of digital marketing, because whenever you're running virtual events or you're running webinars or you're running different things like this, a lot of the concepts are the same and a lot of the technology is the same. It's just learning all about digital marketing. So that's what I'm not talking about necessarily paid advertising like Facebook ads,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram ads. I'm just talking about the basic and the foundation behind why people buy online, how people buy online, how to create offers online, digital product offers. Like just dive into the realm of digital marketing. There's so many YouTube channels, so many YouTube videos about this. Because if you can get a general idea about how digital marketing for coaches and entrepreneurs work, I mean, from there, building out a funnel can be done by somebody else, or you can build out a funnel pretty fast, right? Through ClickFunnels, they have templates, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy to just plug in a template and just make it your color scheme and stuff. But getting the knowledge behind the process is the big thing. So I would say just dive into digital marketing in general, because that's what I did before. I kind of just said, hey, let's learn as much about marketing and specifically digital marketing for coaches and entrepreneurs. And that's what helped me kind of break into this space and start getting clients.
Perfect. Perfect. So it all starts with your mindset and then the skill set, and then you'll build your network. So mindset, skill set, network. And
Yeah, and
what
I mean,
are
sorry, I want to chime in real quick. I apologize, but I was listening to a podcast and I can't remember, or it was a YouTube video and I can't remember, but he pretty much, this guy was saying you need skill set, mindset, and opportunity to make it successfully, right? And so if you have the right mindset, which most of you guys probably do because you're here, right? You're here in this membership and you have the mindset now and you're growing that mindset. So now you need two other things: the opportunity and the skill set. The skill set you can build over time. The opportunities will come once that skill set is developed. So the mindset's there already. Start developing that skill set around the digital marketing. And then once the opportunity comes, you'll be able to snatch it. Because what happens is a lot of people think opportunities are not around. I promise you, there's tons of opportunity to make money in this space in digital marketing. There's people who
yeah,
need funnels built, need virtual events built. There's so many different people out there that need you, but they can only be able to come out and, I guess, ask for your help once you have that skill set. So just want to throw that out there.
yeah, no, for sure. Digital marketing space is like the next wave of millionaire makers on either side, whether you're on the stage side or whether you're on the behind the scenes. It's not going anywhere because we all realize we could be staying at home versus taking a flight, booking a hotel, eating out, to go to these events to gain knowledge. So, for some of us introverts, we love to hide behind the screen. And what are three rookie mistakes that you should absolutely avoid? What are some traps,
Yeah,
pitfalls?
so rookie mistakes, that's a good question. And part of me is like, the first thing that came to my mind is trying to do everything at once. right? And like as an entrepreneur, like if you guys are in here, this is six figure side hustles, right? And so we're talking about how to make the money. A lot of times we want to try to do like a million different things. And that was the thing that, kind of hurt me in the beginning. Whenever I was trying to get started, is I was trying to do everything and anything. And that was just in business in general. I want to be honest. I was trying like four or five different businesses at once. And so like if you're trying to break into this industry or any industry and you're trying to start that side hustle, like commit to one thing, because if you try to chase two rabbits, guess how many you're going to catch? None, right? If you try to catch two or three wild horses at a time, you're not going to catch anything because they're all going to go different directions and your mind's going to be boggled trying to figure out which one to go towards. So like now that we're building a team, we can do it. Now that we have the resources to hire people out, we can do it. But in the beginning, one of the big rookie mistakes I see is people trying to do everything at once, because a lot of people have shiny object syndrome, which I have, which is like you want everything shiny, something new comes up, you're like, oh, I want it, I want that. Listen, realize that in order to make something successful, it may take 6 to 12 months or longer. For the longest time in my business, before this even blew up, before real estate blew up for us, I was trying businesses for like a month or 2 months at a time. And it was going horrible because I would only try it for a month or two and then I'd quit and I'd move on to something else. And I'd said, nothing works. Stock trading doesn't work. This doesn't work. It all works. You just got to work long enough to make it work. So that would be one of the big things I would say, like main things is just, hey, how can I commit to this side hustle for a long enough time to see it through? And after a year or two, if it's not maybe working out or if it's not what direction you want to go, then change. But let's get rid of just a month of trying something. Let's like go 6, 12 months of commitment inside of these side hustles.
Yeah, that's definitely great advice. I've definitely been round robin business before. Like, I'm selling juice, now I'm selling travel, now I'm selling Avon, and you don't even give your audience a chance to associate you with one side hustle. It's on the side, so you still have to work to become known for that thing to have customers. But if you're constantly doing different things, you're getting frustrated, but also you're losing credibility, because when you come up with that one thing, they'll be like, what is it this month?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, I do think that is a key rookie mistake that a lot of us make. Do you have any parting words or any parting advice you want to leave us with?
Just I think this whole conversation is gold. If I could give any advice, go back and watch it again and take notes this time, because most of the time you're in your car listening, or maybe you're at home cooking dinner. If I said anything, all these that you're watching, it could be mine, it could be somebody else's. Go back through and re-watch them, re-listen to them, because the more you stay around the fire, the hotter you're going to be, and the more progress you're going to see in your business. So, like, go back through this, take notes. And if you have any questions, hit me up. You can go to challengemethods.com, or you can go to my Instagram, officialmichaeltucker.com. Shoot me a message. I'd love to help. But guys, let's make this happen. Whatever your side hustle is, if it's doing coaching and you're trying to get a challenge going, let's do it. If it's something totally different, let's see it through and let's make sure that we win no matter what. So thanks. I appreciate you bringing me on here.
I definitely appreciate all the gems you dropped, and I know my audience does too. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great day.